And you pick turkey. Okay, so let me wrap it up real quick. So we have till now to the middle of, we have basically 2 weeks to let people know how we feel. You know, and all of us here, all of our bosses are on top of this. We want to hear from you anyway. Call your elected officials. This is the time when all the deals are made. This is when we have to compromise with the other side of the aisle, and we want you to talk to them. What's being said here is absolutely right. Human rights is tenant rights. Tenant rights is human rights. We have a right to exist in our community. So, and I really want to, on behalf of Senator Ruth Hassel Thompson, thank Rent Reform R3, our great friends in NIDC, and of course our club, BPEC, Bronx Park East Community Association. So we're here, and on the state committee, Joe and I always fight for this. We're pro-labor, we're pro-tenants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. I would like to urge everyone, News 12 is on the way. I would like to urge everyone to please stay because everyone watches News 12, and that is one of the best ways. Talk about local media, that's how you support local media. Watch News 12, keep in the know on Bronx issues, so please do stay. If anyone would like to do interviews for News 12, please let me know. Hello. You're Brooklyn, I'm just kidding.
I know, I've been plenty of sleep.
It is News 12 the Bronx, but yes, they need to know that it is a citywide issue. So please, I know that you may have to get up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. This is a big issue, so please do stay. And please, let's have a big crowd for the News 12 cameras. They'll be here momentarily. Before I forget, I would like to thank one particular person. She talks about during the meeting, she's a lifelong rent-stabilized tenant, and she went door to door. She must have handed out about 1,000 flyers for this event. I'd like her to stand up, and I'd like to give a big thank you to Kathleen Jones of our group. Kathleen, I'll give you a chance to speak after the elected officials. Promise. Yes, after the
Goes to 100.
You don't need a mic.
Yes, I put them on the future.
Ralph.
Talking in neighbors, so to keep you in your apartment and not let your families get evicted.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you. Thank you. So we are going to do a Q&A afterwards, but we have 4 more elected officials, so please, from New York City Controller Scott Stringer's office, Ashley Torres.
Good evening. My name is Ashley Torres. I'm here with the New York City Controller's office.
I forgot to introduce you like I did,
I know. And so what's interesting is that we don't necessarily sign on to bills, right? We are the New York City Controller's office. We oversee the pension system, the 5 pension systems. But the controller always wants us out in the field to hear what is going on in the district. And what I always come back and I tell him, preferential rents, things are changing in the Bronx. We saw it in Brooklyn. We need to be prepared. So to find alternatives, the controller issues, we have a policy and research department, and we issue reports. It would be great if we issue reports every month. However, I'm sure the policy department likes to sleep and have time to be home. But we actually released a report called Building an Affordable Future, and it discusses our vacant land. And what we hear a lot is the fact that, we need the housing, we need the housing, we need the housing, we need these changes. However, when you're selling pieces of land for, extremely low amounts of money, and then you have a huge high-rise that comes and go figure, now the land is like worth $2 million, $3 million. So the report demonstrates that there are alternatives, and I'm going to take all the questions and concerns that you guys have, and I'm going to make sure that I highlight them to the policy department to see how we can pick their brains and how we can highlight this issue. So I thank all of you for coming out tonight and saying your testimonies, because I'm sure everyone worked today and it's been a long day, and I really appreciate you guys coming out. So I'll leave that there, and if there are any questions in any way that I can help you, you can always reach me at 212-669 8775 8775. My name is Ashley Torres.
Calling you, Ashley.
You call me, I am there.
Ashley Torres, Richie's little sister. No, just kidding.
I'm sorry, what? Yes, I am his Bronx. He is, the New York City Comptroller is Scott Stringer. Yes. Thank you. Okay, thank you guys.
That is Richie Torres' sister. No,
Sorry, and if anyone's interested, I have extra reports. I'm gonna leave some in the back, so when you're headed out, you can just grab them. And they're also on our website, or you can email them, or call me. Okay, bye.
No, actually, he's an only child. No, I think he's. Should I interview him?
All right, Grace reminded me, when you make a 311 call, that's only one of two things you should do. You should either contact your community board or contact an elected official. You can also contact me, you can contact a community organization. But you gotta do a 311 and then you gotta do some sort of follow-up. That means contacting those people. If you haven't already, if you would like to keep updated about what you can do about stopping the preferential rent scam and strengthening rent laws, please send a text message to 347-654-7044 or an email to bxparkeast@gmail.com or join our Facebook group. Just search Facebook for Team B-PECA. You have to stay involved, and that involves communication, knowing what events are going on, what meetings, what rallies, what protests. So we have a couple more elected officials. I did it for Kenny. So please welcome from Assemblyman Victor Pachado, known as Nestor Medina.
Thank you very much for that warm, exciting welcome. So once again, folks, I'm Nestor Medina. I'm with the Office of Assemblymember Pichardo. Let me tell you honestly, we definitely hear your voices. We connect with your concerns, with your frustrations. Personally, I get to speak with many tenants like yourselves, and we do our very best, to keep people in their homes. And we understand, especially when seniors come to us and they live on a fixed income. And it's really a reflection of the crisis that we have, the housing crisis that we have. It's an affordability crisis. There are lack of repairs. There's a host of issues that we are really concerned, and that really sadden us, and that frustrate us, and that anger us. So we understand, we connect with that, with those voices, and so over 90% of the constituents that come to us has to do with something with housing. So we recognize there's a serious problem, and we hear the bad landlords, the lack of repairs, the rents are too high. Senior citizens aren't able to pay their rent because they only get a certain amount. And so their incomes stay the same, but the rents keep going up. So we recognize the urgency and the seriousness that we're facing here. That being said, I couldn't express any clearer that the Assembly member is with you. The Assembly member is committed to working with organizations like Alliance for Tenant Power and all those other organizations that are advocating for housing rights. We are here with them. The Assembly member is with you. If you so happen to live Fordham Heights, Morris Heights, or University Heights, we work for you, right? So just in case you're interested, our number is 718-933-6909. That's our office number, 718-933-6909. And in closing, I want to say that, and somebody brought it up, one of our speakers earlier, that I'm looking at her right now, she said that there's power inside within us. I mean, just last year.
Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone, but exactly, pick up the phone and pick up your voices and just go out there. Last year, for instance, we were fighting, tenants were fighting, right, for zero increase, And guess what happened? You know, tenants just like you, because of your power, because of the power that came out from inside within you,
When next week?
succeeded in getting 0 increases for 1 year. So that's remarkable. It can happen. And you gotta keep fighting. You gotta keep fighting. But thank you very much. I'm gonna pass this time to my colleague here. But thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, this district is represented by Assemblyman Jonai and Senator Jeff Klein, but also in the City Council, we are in New York City Councilmember Richie Torres' district. And I just want to make it very clear.
And Jimmy
there is
Vaca.
no one that is more pro-tenant than Councilmember Richie Torres, so
and
please
where's
welcome
Vaca's
from his
representative?
office, his constituent service person, Romina Enea.
Yeah. Vaca's my council.
Hi everyone, if you saw me just step out, that was a council member. He sent his apologies that he couldn't be here. First and foremost, I want to thank all the people who came up and told their stories. It was very educational, I think for everyone, very heartfelt, and I'll be sure to relay all those stories to the council member. Please, if you have a neighbor who has similar stories, let them know. They can call our office. We want to serve as a point of advocacy for you all. Our number is 718. Councilman Torres. 718-842-8100. My name is Romina, and I am with the office of Councilmember Richie Torres. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Just to emphasize, we need our council members to put pressure on our senators, on our assemblymen.
And our councilmen.
The senators that represents Councilman Vaca's area, I believe, are Senator Klein and maybe a little bit of Senator Hassel Thompson. And for Richie Torres' office, I believe Senator Gustavo Rivera and a couple others. But we need to put pressure on our state elected officials to get this.
And on the judges in housing court.
So last but not least, from City Councilmember Jimmy Vaca's office, please welcome Juan Marquez.
Oh, he's from Vaca. All right. He's from Vaca, okay.
I don't like Vaca.
Well, first of all, thank you everyone for being here. Really, it's been, as I mentioned before, it's been really informative. It's always good to be in contact with the constituents and hearing the real concerns that are happening all around the city. Councilmember Vaca has always been committed to protect the rights of the constituents. He's really working close together with community leaders, with tenant leaders. One good case is Paulette Soy. She's the tenant leader in 1541 Williamsbridge Road, and they're having some issues. We're really working close with them. And the whole idea about us, you know, we cannot change legislation because that's a state level, but we are advocating for our constituents. We are all about empowering the constituents, informing them. We are running events. We have planned some events with NIDC and some other agencies from the city in order to support, inform, and empower the tenants for them to be able to protect their own rights. Because that's all about it. You know, you have to be able to support yourself and also push our elected officials to defend those rights. So, you know, if we work together, we're going to make a change. And that's what we're doing.
What about Ralph?
Thank you very much.
Spoke to Ralph about it?
Is Jimmy back to sponsor?
It's coming.
No, we're just have city.
Okay, now,
We need him to sponsor.
at Bronx Parties meetings, I like giving people a chance to speak. I don't like cutting off the mic. Now, if we have people from Brooklyn and Manhattan that need to go, by all means you can, but I do want to give some tenants a chance to speak. We have a limit of 4 people. Now, they have to be questions, not statements, but questions that you have for elected officials, that you have for Met Council, for Hazel, for I. So if you would like to ask a question, please come up and speak on the microphone. Do we have anyone? Do we have any rent-stabilized tenants? Yep, rent-stabilized tenants. Kathleen?
Big mouth, forget. Mouth. Yes. It's too dry.
Kathleen is a Holland Avenue resident, Holland Avenue, Palm
Sometimes
Property.
you have to
for a long time.
be.
Hello.
That way.
My question to all of you
Them.
and you
Oh, and.
is that these are your
It's a
elected
statement.
officials' constituents. Many of them, especially in the Oldville apartments that are the preferential rent tenants, are facing eviction if the elected officials who they voted for, who they re-elected, and who are up for re-election do not do something to protect them.
She's exempt.
So Bronx Park East Community Association and me on the housing points person wants you to take back to
She
the
just
elected
made that up.
officials that in some of these buildings over here, like the FTE building, more than probably 3/4 of the building tenants, your elected officials who you're representing, their constituents in those buildings, in the preferential rent buildings, will be evicted within a year or two if they do
What's the
not
question?
sponsor this bill.
They're
We want
actually,
to know, will our assembly people, and everybody here, you have to get it after your assembly people, and you have to get it after your senators. We voted you into office. We gave you great jobs, high-paying jobs. And with that comes great health care. Not Obamacare like we have to deal with. They get health care for life. If I'm right, it's health care for life, great health care.
Where's
That's
the
an opinion.
question?
Will they help keep these constituents, their rent stabilized and their rent, especially their preferential rent stabilized tenants in their apartments? Or are they going to be homeless or in homeless shelters or having to go somewhere else? We gave you our vote to be our voice in Albany. If we had the chance, we would get on buses and we would sign those bills ourselves. But as the political process works, we have to elect assemblymen, senators, etc., to sign for us. So our elected officials are our John Hancock. We need them to sign for us. They're not in office to represent themselves. They're here to answer to their constituents. They're our voice and they're our John Hancock. And we want them to sign those
5 minutes.
bills. We don't want those kids children in homeless. Thank you.
with Kathleen Jones over there,
She's
Kathleen.
walking proudly too.
So, the building she was referring to, since there are no more questions from rent stabilized tenants, we're gonna close. But what she said, the building she's referring to, the building that Keith used to live in, the building that Rosemary lives in, those are, all those buildings, the whole block on Olinville Avenue between Mason and Allerton Avenue was bought by FTRE, Finkelstein Timber Real Estate. They own hundreds of buildings in the Bronx. They are what you call the big-time landlord, or the slumlord, whatever you want to
They're
call
gonna buy
them.
my building soon. They're selling my building.
FTRE, the name of the landlord who bought the buildings on Olinville between Mason and Allerton. Pretty much all the tenants who had preferential rent, the preferential rent was taken away. And as Keith said, $300, $400, $500 rent hikes. Now that's $300, $400 per month, not in total. That's a per month. Your rent goes from $1,200 to $1,600. So those are the people we're trying to stop. And unfortunately, all those buildings are in Senator Doug Klein and Assemblyman Joe Nye's district. And I'm sorry, I have to say an opinion. Shame on them for not sending a representative here. Shame on them. So I need all of you to call tomorrow, and if you want, you have nothing to do, call their office every day until you get an answer. They need to co-sponsor legislation, and they need to make sure that 421A does not pass without preferential rent reform. We're going to end with a chant. Hazel's going to end us with a chant.
I always love to end in a positive and aggressive manner. But you guys have any issues, my office is right here on Olinville Avenue between Allerton and Mace. Bring me your problems. If you're overcharged, I'm the overcharge queen. I love overcharges. But I'm going to ask, what are we going to do? You're going to respond, call. I'm going to ask, who are we going to call? You're going to respond, our elected officials. I'm going to ask, when are we going to call, and you're going to
Say
respond
now or tomorrow.
Everybody got it?
Yes.
What are we going to do?
Call. Go on.
Who are we gonna call?
The elected officials.
When are we gonna call?
Tomorrow.
What are we gonna do?
Call.
Who are we gonna call?
Our elected officials.
When are we gonna call?
Tomorrow.
What are
now.
we gonna do?
Call.
Who are we gonna call?
Our elected officials.
When are we gonna call?
Tomorrow.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for
Now,
coming.
hold on, I got one tab for you.
Oh,
We
God.
had 115 people sign in, so that's a great turnout. Thank you all for coming. But there's a little thing called, I like calling it the tenant revolution, because people as tenants, we need to, all the buildings that rent service, we need to join together and attend meetings like this. So I'm gonna chant, you repeat after me, the tenants united will never be defeated. The tenants united will never be, I can't hear you. The tenants united will never be defeated. The tenants